The views and opinions expressed by the On the Spot with David Rodgers show are solely based on the show's hosts, guests, and viewers. We are solely responsible for all show content in its entirety and does not necessarily reflect the opinions of any sponsors in any way. These broadcasts are presented and made public by the On the Spot with David Rodgers team in the hope that it will be entertaining and informative to our viewers and listening audience.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, it's 7 o'clock and time for On the Spot with David Rodgers. And now, here he is, Mr. Friday Night, the show pony himself, the man, the dream, the legendary David Rodgers.
Good evening, folks, and welcome to On the Spot with David Rodgers. I am Mr. Friday Night and the show pony himself, David Rodgers, along Super Dave Holland, and our special guest tonight, Chief of Police over in Lottie, Florida, where I live, Jerry Feltner. Say hello, Jerry, to everybody.
Hello, everybody.
Hello, everybody. No Byron Bagwell tonight as he is busy working tonight. Mitchell Gunner trying to get some stuff that he got from the Gator Nationals this week. We'll talk a little bit about that. No Austin Stevens tonight as he had to make a trip down south. So you have us two tonight along with Super Dave Holland. Welcome to the show. Tonight the show is sponsored by Mitchell Gunner Racing. Hey, the On the Spot's Motorsports media page. Tune in Thursdays to listen for the latest from the guru of motorsports, Mitchell Gunner, and by the On the Spot Lawn Care. Spring is coming, so now's the time to plan for who takes care of your lawn. Let the red, white, and blue take care of your green. You can call me at 904-966-1633, or you can email me at david.rodgers, R-O-D-G-E-R-S, at gmail1532.com, or david.rodgers1352 at yahoo.com. Let's get the show started as we always do with our prayer, our pledge, and our patriotic quote of the night. Everybody that's tuning in, thank you again for tuning in with us. This is the first time we've been back in about 3 weeks, so glad to be doing a show and glad to have our person here, our Chief of Police from Lottie, Florida, Jerry Feltner, along with us tonight, again, with the dancing destroyer and Super Dave Holland behind the controls there. So, trying to see, do we have, are we live, Jerry, there? Did you spot anything? Let's refresh him there and see what we got. Dave, what you got for us, brother? Are we good?
Yeah.
We're good, okay. Well, we'll figure it out, Jerry. There it is, right there. Just a little bit of a delay, but that's all right. Hey, great to have you guys along. Please let everybody know that we're back on the air. If you're just now tuning in, and Jerry, I'm sure you told all your friends you're going to be on tonight, didn't you?
No, I didn't tell anybody.
You didn't tell anybody?
No.
You wanted to keep it a secret, didn't you? Okay.
We've told everybody for 3 weeks. I hope they remember.
I hope they remember, too. You're exactly right. So let's get the show started as we always do with our prayer, our pledge, and our patriotic quote of the night. Let us bow our heads, ladies and gentlemen. Our righteous Heavenly Father, let us once thank again for a wonderful and glorious day you've given us, dear Lord. Thank you for this time that we can be with our brothers here to do On the Spot show with David Rodgers, to bring the information out to everybody that is watching and is listening, and they take that information and do with it as they see fit, dear Lord. Thank you for letting us live in the greatest country in the world today, the United States of America, dear Lord. The most powerful, the most freest country in the whole world today. Yes, I know we have our own issues and our own problems, but with your healing hand and your guiding touch, we can turn this nation around and make it a great again, dear Lord. Thank you for our armed forces, each and every one of those young men and women that are serving today, dear Lord, keeping us protected from domestic and international terrorism and any other threats that becomes upon us on this great nation. Thank you for those that served in the past. Again, dear Lord, that gave the ultimate sacrifice, their life, dear Lord, for this great and wonderful country. Thank you for the first responders, dear Lord, each and every one of those men and women that go out and serve each and every day. They put their lives on the line. They risk their lives to keep us safe so we can go to sleep at night knowing that they're there in case of an emergency or any other thing that arises, dear Lord. So thank and protect each and every one of those young men and women that are out there doing that job, dear Lord. Thank you for our front line of America, the truck drivers, the railroad workers, the construction workers, the farmers, everybody that makes and keeps this great country going today, dear Lord. Please touch each and every one of them. Make sure each and every one of them has their needs to be able to do their job each and every day. Any spoken or unspoken prayer requests, dear Lord, that you touch each and every one of them, dear Lord. You're the ultimate comforter. You're the ultimate healer, dear Lord. So please put your hand on them for anybody that's going through anything that they may not be able to handle, dear Lord, but we know that you can. Thank you for the food that we receive each and every day that goes to the nourishment of our bodies and our bodies to thy service. Again, thank you for letting us have this great day, this great week that we have coming up, and just keep blessing each and every one of us and keep blessing this great nation. We ask for these things in your Son's name, Jesus Christ, and the congregation says, Amen. Let us stand for our pledge. And I'm going to ask Mr. Dave Holland if he would lead us, please.
I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you very much, Dave. I appreciate that. Again, welcome into On the Spot with David Rodgers. I'm your host, David Rodgers. Sitting in, directing and producing the show as he always does is Super Dave Holland. We call him the Dancing Destroyer. Tonight, no Byron Bagwell. Mitchell Gunner working on the Auto Spots Motorsports media page. No Austin Stevens, our weatherman. He had to travel down south. But we do have our special guest here tonight that we've been trying to put together for 3 weeks now. Finally, we're able to do a show. So again, in our absence, I'm sorry that we couldn't be on the air with you, but we are on the air tonight. And thank you for each and every one of them that is joining us tonight. We do have the Chief of Police right here from Lottie, Florida, where I live at, and that's Jerry Feltner. So again, Jerry, thank you for coming on and being with us tonight as we're going to talk about several things, not just what's going on in Lottie, but just several things. We're going to banter back and forth like we always do. I've known Jerry for a long time, David, so have you. He's like a brother to me. Like I said, shoot, Jerry, probably known you, 20 years now or so? At least 20 years. I would say at least 20 because I've been here since 1992. So, and I met Jerry here and there, and we got to be really good friends as we've done some things together. So I've always loved him like a brother, and he is like a brother to me. So we're just going to banter back and forth, talk about some things that are going on, like I said, not just in Lottie, but in Bradford County itself, and maybe some regional and state news. So you never know. You know what I mean? So, Jerry, since you got your phone up, why don't you read some of those? Go back to the beginning there and read some of those comments there.
I got Patricia Baker. Hi, gentlemen.
Hey, hello, Patricia.
Amen. Patricia Baker says there was a big drug bust in Hampton today. We'll have to find out something about that.
We'll have to find out there.
Z, welcome, gents. And Mr. Dwight Allen, as usual, is always watching. And hello, evening, fellow Patriots.
There you go. And that's the White Allen. Z Zamaya, if you don't know, by the way, he has a show on Thursday nights. It's called Hot Topics with Z and Tuck. Oh, yeah. They're out in Arizona. They have a great, wonderful show as well. We always get together at times when we can. I try to go on their show. They try to come on our show. And haven't talked to Z in a while. Yeah. By the way, I'll get into that here in a little bit. But Z sings. I did not know that.
Wow.
Oh, man, he had this big old Facebook thing. He had an open mic night. Man, you ought to hear the voice on that guy. Oh, yeah. So we'll talk a little bit about that. You know, Vincent Tucker's down in, his partner's down in Okeechobee, so they're far apart now, but they still have a great show. And, again, thank you for promoting our show, and we promote yours. Hot Topics with Z and Tuck.
Yeah.
At 7:30 their time, which would be 10:30 our time. Yeah. So I know it's late, but you can go back and catch the replay. Hot Topics with Z and Tuck. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I have a patriotic quote of the night, Jerry. So I'm going to test your knowledge, and I'm going to test your skill, and I'm going to give you a hint on it, because I know you play trivia. You played at my trivia many a times with the boys. So this particular quote, put him right out in the pasture, he said. All right, here we go. This is a famous philosopher. I'll give you that. Oh. So that'll break it down. At his best, Man is the noblest of all animals. Separated from law and justice, he is the worst. Who said that? Which great philosopher said that?
I would have.
Aristotle.
You got Aristotle? Aristotle, you got that too?
Well, we'll go with his.
You'll go with his since he said it? All right, Aristotle. That's a great guess, by the way. Any of the comments? This is where you guys can play, ladies and gentlemen, if you want. Here we go again. I'll read it again. At his best, man is the noblest of all animals. Separated from law and justice, he is the worst. I gave you and said it was a philosopher. Had two great guesses right here. Aristotle. So I will tell you, it is either Aristotle, Socrates, or Plato. So I will give you that much. Let's see if anybody, Shirley Bagwell says Aristotle.
Yep.
Oh, man, what did Patricia say? 33 arrested in that bust?
In the bust. We
may have to call the sheriff, our buddy, and find out what's going on here. My goodness, 33 people in Hampton.
Wow.
Remember, there was a big arrest.
You
didn't start today, but I don't know nothing about the Hampton arrest.
Yeah, I don't either. All right, so Z says Aristotle too. Yep. All right, so we got a couple of guesses right there. Again, while we're waiting on some answers, I want to thank you again, Jerry, for coming on to talk a little bit about different. Oh man, hey brother, you're like I said, you're like a brother to us. So anytime that you can come on, or anytime that you want to come on, you're more than welcome to come on the show. I got Super Dave Holland, the Dancer Destroyer. By the way, David, somebody wanted me to ask you, did you learn the Cupid Shuffle yet?
I only got half of it down.
You only got half of it down.
The right half.
The right half. Okay. How about the left half?
Well, there's a certain twist in there, and I can't seem to get that other twist going.
They say the rest are on the sheriff's page.
Oh, okay.
Look that up.
We may have to look that up. There we go. So, okay. Well, we'll take a look at that and see what's going on. Well, Dave, you better learn that left half, because next week or the following week, you're going to have to do that dance here.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, you may be in trouble, cuz. All right, well, any other guesses, let's say? Good evening, Mrs. Bagwell. Glad that you're on. Sorry, Byron is not on tonight, but that's okay. We know that he's working and he's busy, so, hey, all things are
Amy
good.
Blum's watching tonight from Lottie.
Hey, Amy, okay. Hello, Amy. How are you? Let's see. Sharon Pettiprin, the model. Did you know she was a model? Sharon Pettiprin.
Yes.
Yeah, good evening. Good evening to you, Sharon. Glad to see you.
Melissa Cribbs.
Yeah, Melissa Cribbs is watching. So, all right. Well, we have a few guesses, and let me tell you this. All of you guys are correct. That would be Aristotle.
Hot dog.
At his best, man is the noblest of all animals, separated from law and justice. He is the worst.
Dave, let me write it down on this piece of paper.
Yeah, he wants me to write that down to say you got an answer right. So you can go back and brag to Rick and Jimmy that you got something right. I bet they wouldn't have got it right.
Lord, they got it going.
Oh, Melissa Cribbs says Aristotle too, man. Hey, I didn't. You know what, David? I didn't fool nobody with that. Absolutely nobody, Jerry. I didn't fool nobody.
You are slipping.
Slipping, by the way. You ain't kidding. All right. Hey, don't go anywhere, David and audience and Jerry, because here comes the roundtable right after this commercial break.
Hey Tornado fans, this is Kurt Miracle of Miracle Automotive and Towing, proud sponsors of Tornado Football. I want to welcome you to beautiful Stark, Florida and David Hurst Stadium, and thank you for letting us be a part of this community. We're here for more than your automotive and towing needs. We're here to be part of Tornado Country. Go Big Red!
This is the Roundtable. We go around the region, around the table with the latest news and notes. Brought to you by Harry Business in the Deerfoot Plaza, home of the $10 haircut. Call Dave and Company at 904-964-3338. Open Monday through Saturday, 9 to 5. Closed on Sundays. Dave, hey, it's been busy over there. I know the last here a little bit, so I know you've cut a lot of heads. So tell us a little bit about what's going on over at Harry Business.
Well, we're open 6 days a week, Monday through Saturday, 9 to 5.
Yep.
We got 6 stylists, and they got plenty of business coming in, but You don't have to wait too long. It's been pretty good.
Good.
Stark and Bradford County and the surrounding counties and communities have been very generous.
Well, I can tell you this. For $10, you're not going to find a cheaper haircut than that. And get great service.
I'm not raising my prices because everybody else is.
Amen, brother. Amen, brother.
Yeah.
Amen. I'm with that.
Yeah, I refuse to. People are telling me you're too cheap, Dave.
Maybe they're saying it in another way, Dave. She won't buy lunch for anybody or something like that.
Well,
We're stuck in
I hear you. Little freezing here, but that's all right. We're going to keep going here. It'll come back. Here's some news, Dave. Republican Senator Jennifer Bradley has filed a bill to give animals legal representation in court, similar to the state's current guardian ad litem light program that provides children with advocates in Florida courts. Republican Senator Jennifer Bradley has filed a bill, again, giving that to the courts, and we'll see what happens with that. Discussion continues between groups over House Bill 543, which would allow people to carry concealed guns without a state license. Jerry maybe can get into that here in a little bit. Background check or training in Florida. They would still need a valid ID when carrying a gun. Florida would become the 26th state to allow citizens to carry firearms without a permit. Advocate says training would still be offered and encouraged. A new Florida Senate bill would make let's see, what is that? Make illegal to let a dog be in a driver's lap. Okay. Or stick its head out of a window. Maybe Jerry can elaborate on that a little bit. Or moving car. The bill, Senate Bill 932, would also ban the declawing of cats. It would also limit when and how animals can be tethered outside. There's also a companion bill in the Florida House, HB 381, which is House Bill 381. But that legislation covers animal testing and cosmetic industries. I want to stop right there because I have a breaking local news. And Jerry, I don't know if you and Dave heard about this one. 2 garbage men running their morning route saved a toddler in a pit bull attack this morning on Cherry Street. Kudos to those men. And also, not only did they save that toddler, they came back this afternoon after their route and checked on that toddler to make sure it was okay. Oh. These guys are the real heroes. And this gave me hope for humanity. These 2 drivers work for the Green for Florida truck. That's the green truck that comes by.
Yeah.
And that's a great job. And yes, there is still good in this world. Do you agree with that, Jerry?
I do believe that because this afternoon I was watching that they had still looking for the pit bull in question, and I believe that the dog was picked up this afternoon about 4:30 or 5 o'clock, and taken into
animal
custody,
as they would say. Well, you know, it's funny because we were just
working on it the whole day. They were pretty much working on it.
Yeah. And kudos to those 2 guys. I wish I had their name. We will, and we'll put it on the spot page. But that is a great job by those 2 guys. Those 2 guys could have kept going and just kept doing their job. And what would have happened to that toddler? That pit bull, what I hear, Jerry, was a pretty nice-sized dog. So they was running their route. They seen this fixing to happen. So they get off their truck. The driver gets out. The guy that's riding in the back gets off. And they go, and I guess they basically chased the pit bull away, right? I don't think they engaged it, but I believe they chased this pit bull away, endangering their own selves.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
What heroes that is, man. David, I'm telling you, there's still humanity in this world. Yeah. I think there is more good than there is evil.
A lot of times when you see something happen, you totally forget about yourself.
That's what happens when you put good people in good places and you lay down your life for your fellow men.
Yeah.
That's it right there. Do you believe there's still more good than evil?
I do. As much evil as I see, I still believe there's good out there.
I do too.
It's hard for me to sometimes to see the good than I do the evil, but it's
the job you do, you're fighting evil constantly.
Yeah, that's exactly right. All right. Mark your calendars as the 15th annual Beast Feast is coming. April the 20th. I can't see it right there. David, cut me off here. Let's see if I can find it right here. Well, I definitely don't want that. That thing went haywire.
I'm in the beast mode.
Yeah, we're in the beast mode. Anyway, it will be at the Bradford Sportsman Club and Shooting Range in Graham. There will be music featuring the Ben Carter Band, which we all know, a silent auction and raffles. Tickets are only $75, and you get more information from the Rotary Club of Stark's Facebook page. We are here on the spot and are very excited to be part of the upcoming Stark Splash Bash on July 4th. David Rodgers, you know him?
Hey, I've heard of him.
Yeah, what a
At
mess.
football games.
Yeah, at football games. We'll be the voice of Splash Bash again this year, and I will have a team of folks helping us out. Our own OTS guy, Byron Bagwell, will be running the charity cornhole tournament, and Mitchell Gunner will be putting on another fantastic car show. That is July 4th. That will be from 9 o'clock. Remember, last year, we only did it for a few hours. I think it was from 3 to 9 or something like that. Well, this year it's going to be from 9 to 9. And we're starting it off with a Guns and Hoses softball game that I heard Jerry Feltner is going to be playing in. I heard your name thrown out there.
Well, it's probably going to be a good one then, because if I'm playing, we're going to win.
I like confidence.
I like confidence, man. I really do. But that's going to be July 4th. Last year, we were only expecting 1,000 people, sort of. We got over 5. Mike and the team is expecting 5 to 10. Yeah.
Wow.
Coming through here through Stark, Florida. Now, he was trying to do it on July the 3rd. The problem is July 3rd, the date sort of conflicted, and they didn't want to do it on there, so they want to go ahead and do it on July the 4th. So there'll be other things going on in the area, but this right here should be the biggest hit of them all.
Are they going to do fireworks?
They are.
They
That
are.
night?
They've
At
got
9
several $1,000s worth of fireworks this year, as a matter
All
of fact.
right.
Yeah. So after Southern Burn plays, we're going to do the fireworks. Jalen Jackson's going to sing the national anthem, and then boom, as soon as she's done, the fireworks are going to click off, and should be a good fireworks show. I heard anywhere from 12 to 15 minutes, maybe a little longer than that. So Stark is starting to come up and starting to do some great things. So here we go. This year I will be on stage with talking about myself with great musical performances. A charity, what I just told you, Guns and Hoses softball game with the police, Stark Police and Bradford Sheriff's Office taking on the Stark Fire and Bradford County Fire Departments. And, of course, fireworks. Mark your calendars. I'm planning on joining me, the show pony David Rodgers, at Splash Bash on July 4th. For more information, like and follow. There is a Facebook page, Stark Splash Bash page on Facebook. Finally, it's time for the recall recap featuring product recalls from the U.S. Consumer Product Safety Commission and the U.S. Food and Drug Administration. This week we have, Jerry, Disney toys, barbecue grills, and baby formula. Well, good grief, man. What a widespread. All right. Kids Preferred is recalling over 16,000 My First Disney characters, including Mickey Mouse toys, because the arms or legs on the figurines can detach, posing a small part of that becomes a choking hazard to children. For more information on that, if you have one of those, call 1-888-968-9268. Oh, Jerry's got one of these. Paradise Grills is recalling 18,000 outdoor kitchen grills due to liquid propane LP gas accumulating inside the closed lid and cabinets, causing an explosion when the user relights the grill. For more information, call 1-800-604-2023. Lastly, Ricket, a producer of nutrition products, excuse me, announced today that out of an abundance caution is voluntarily recalling Select Babies or Prosobi. Is that right? Did I say that right?
Sounds like it.
Got a little tickle in my throat here. Sorry about that. Prosobi. There it is. 12.9 ounce cans. Possibly due to bacterial contamination No illnesses have been reported. Parents with questions should consult with their pediatrician or call 1-800-479-0551. These products plus other recalls can be found on the CPSC and FDA websites. You can Google FDA recall or consumer recall to get the complete list, and we'll feature recalls each week that could pose a threat to you. Excuse me, ladies and gentlemen. Now, Dave, can we take a quick commercial break? Because here's your on-the-spot weather.
Well, maybe.
Maybe. There's also another one of consumers that you want to talk about is dog food.
Hey, Tornado fans, this is Kurt Miracle of Miracle Automotive and Towing, proud sponsors of Tornado Football. I want to welcome you to beautiful Stark, Florida and David Hurst Stadium, and thank you for letting us be a part of this community. We're here for more than your automotive and towing needs. We're here to be part of Tornado Country. Go Big Red!
All right, ladies and gentlemen, here we are back. Before we get to the weather, I'm going to let Jerry read what was going on today. He's got it posted here from the Sheriff's Office. So, Jerry, what do we got cooking in?
This is for immediate release. On the morning of March 14th, 2023, the Bradford County Sheriff's Office Drug Task Force saw the conclusion of a 2.5-month-long narcotics investigation. Today's residential search warrant was aimed at reducing the flow of narcotics in the Hampton, Florida area. After Bradford County SO SWAT was able to secure the residence in question, Bradford County SO Drug Task Force members with the assistance of the Bradford County Sheriff's Office CIU successfully executed a search warrant which yielded 21 grams of methamphetamine, marijuana, and multiple items of drug paraphernalia. While searching this residence, it was also found that the owners of the residence were allowing 2 children, which is sad, at the residence were allowing 2 children under the age of 6 on the property to live in inhumane conditions. The conditions in which these children were living were to an operational and I'm going to say unoperational toilet.
Right.
It was also found that 4 individuals, to include the children, were living in a bumper pool style camper in such disrepair that it was deemed uninhabitable. Dina Crawford, Terry Crawford, Brandon Hagan, Caleb Scoville were all arrested at the scene for charges to include possession of controlled substance without prescription, trafficking methamphetamine, child neglect, possession of drug paraphernalia, and operating a public nuisance residence. Overall, Operation Street Sweeps aimed in the Bradford County area. During the operation, the Drug Task Force, along with the assistance of detectives from the Criminal Investigation Unit, executed 2 residential search warrants of known drug houses, 2 cell phone search warrants, and cell phone ping orders. The operation ultimately led to the arrest of the issued warrants for 33 individuals, stemming from outstanding warrants, possession of fentanyl, sales of fentanyl, possession of methamphetamine, sales of methamphetamine, trafficking methamphetamine, possession of crack cocaine, possession of controlled substance without prescription, possession of marijuana, possession of drug paraphernalia, and the seizure of 21 firearms. The investigation further led to the discovery of a stolen vehicle, 3 stolen trailers, a stolen zero-turn lawnmower, and stolen trench digger. And I'm going to tell y'all what, believe it or not, this is hard to believe that, this fentanyl has made its way into Bradford County as much as it has. And believe it or not, all agencies are working on this fentanyl and the selling fentanyl, and because it does nothing but kill children. And you see and you hear what they said in their story and what they're living in. If you see this picture that I'm looking at right now, you
can hold that up to the camera there, Jerry.
You can hold that, understand, if you can see as far as what kind of conditions they're actually living in. That was the children. Man, people like this just need to go to jail.
I'm glad that you said that.
They need to go to jail, and they need to stay there until they decide what the judge wants to do with them.
And by the way,
there's only one place in society for them.
Yeah. Hey, and by the way, I want to thank the Bradford County Sheriff's Department, led by Sheriff Gordon Smith, and all his deputies that work for him and investigators. I know that your son works for him as well. And everybody, I'm sure, was involved in that, Jerry. Probably just not them. Probably some other task force as well. And that's a great arrest today, wasn't it?
Yes, that is. That's a great pop, as I like to call it.
That's it. All right. Yeah, there's your update on that bus there, Patricia Baker, I believe, right?
Yes, it was.
Yeah. So OTS 4-day forecast, Jerry. Listen to this. Tomorrow, no chance of rain, Jerry.
Wow.
But you can go and get a high tomorrow of 66 degrees.
I'll go out and get a suntan.
At 66 degrees, you probably can. 39 degrees is going to be the low for Wednesday. Thursday, no chance of rain. High of 76. That'll be a pretty day. Low of 52. Friday, 10% chance of rain. High of 80. Low of 61. And here's where it gets ugly, Jerry. Saturday, 90% chance of rain. The coolness of the weather comes back. 66 degrees for a high. 42 for a low, Dave. So after work, just put your motorcycle up. Don't worry about it. Don't even drive your motorcycle. Just go straight home because it's going to be raining.
Let's go.
Yeah, I'll just assure you of that. 90%. Now, I have, Jerry, so have you, and so have you, seen a 90% chance of rain, and we get absolutely nothing.
Not a drop.
We've seen that.
But they usually call it pretty good. So that's your weather forecast, and we'll have that here in just a little bit. Want to go over some things here that's going on in the community day before we go on. Again, gave you that breaking local news. He just gave you some breaking local news as well. We do have several things coming up in the community in the area. The 25th Annual Bradford County Strawberry Festival starts at 9 a.m. Saturday, March the 25th, and again on Sunday at 10 a.m. March the 26th. There will be food, music, vendors, and, of course, the sweetest strawberries this side of heaven for sale. So come out and have a great time. Also, I just found out, I do believe that there's going to be a car show that is being organized by Mr. Mitchell Gunner. So that will be going on in the process as well. And I believe that we have been invited to be on the spot with David Rodgers. I know we'll have to work around your schedule on that. I know you're working Saturdays, finding out what time we need to set up for that. But maybe on Sunday, for sure, maybe we can bring the action of what's going on Sunday.
Well, I got to say, a strawberry shortcake goes a long way.
It sure does, doesn't it? Oh, goodness. Oh, Byron Bagwell is watching. Let's see here. Yeah, let's see. Shirley says, we will think of you guys while we are enjoying beautiful weather on our trip. Yes, Miss Shirley Bagwell. Yes, I need to tell you, Miss Shirley Bagwell. Of course, if y'all don't know who she is, Shirley and Donnie Bagwell, the mother and father of Byron Bagwell, which is our co-host and also does the color commentary with me on Bradford Tornado football, will be going to Chile. No, not Chile. No, Costa Rica. I'm sorry. Yeah, I got it mixed up. Costa Rica. So they're going to go over there for about a week and a half. They're going to jungle side, the beach side. And I know the weather over there, we talked about it, it's supposed to be like in the 80s the whole time. Oh. Jeez. Well, ship some of that back. Yeah, can you ship some of that back? All right.
The Strawberry Festival anyway.
There you go. Let's see. Can we go back here? Let's see. Dave is the only one I let cut my hair. How about that? Oh. Patricia Baker. You must know Patricia.
Hey, Patricia.
Yeah, absolutely. Good evening. Hey, Chief. Got what's there, Skeets? Yeah, there you go. Patricia Baker said, yes, I cried when I saw it. Yeah, it'll make you cry. If you've got any kind of a heart, Patricia, which I know you do, man, when you hear and see stories like that, man, it breaks your heart, man. You know, Jerry, these people want kids. Oh, I want a baby. I want this. I want that. And then, you know, you hear about them 2 or 3 years later, child neglect, child abuse. And I'm not saying that's everybody, but, you know, that's just people that don't care except about themselves and what they can get right on top for them, and they leave their children out of it. And then they're the ones that screaming, Jerry, when their kids are pulled by the DCF, and that's exactly right. Oh, you're taking my baby. Well, they should take your baby. If you're living in conditions what Jerry just showed you there a few minutes ago, they should take your babies from you. And it should be a heck of a long time before you get them back. That's for sure. So, there's old Byron. He said, "Good evening, brothers, sisters, patriots, infidels, and miscreants." Byron's favorite saying. There you go. And Austin Stevens, good afternoon. Missed you here for the weather. That's okay. I know you were taking care of some business. So, anyway, we'll move on. Boy Scouts of America Values Dinner will be held on Thursday, March 30th, 2023 from 6 to 8 p.m. They usually honor somebody in the community. I know Terry Vaughn's been honored. Chuck Kramer's been honored. I don't know who the honoree is this time. But, hey, go out there and support our Boy Scouts. You go out there and have dinner and make a donation to the Boy Scouts while you're there as well. Spring break, March the 20th to the 24th, next week, David, for all of Bradford County schools. Go ahead.
And what that last viewer had made the comment about, I wanted to show that picture again.
Oh, absolutely. Come on. That's the picture that Jerry Feltner just showed you.
That the children are living in.
The children are living in.
Yeah.
That is absolutely disgraceful.
Look on the table.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
You see what's on the table? Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Wow.
That's sad.
Sad, very sad. So, look, man, if you know of anything that's going on like that, please call your local law enforcement and let them handle the situation. I am sure that they will be glad to go out there and clean this stuff up. That's what this is all about. It's about cleaning up this mess right here. Jerry was talking about fentanyl, and I'm going to talk to him about that a little bit later. What it does to you, man. It kills you, man. It can kill you quickly.
Yeah,
and it don't take a lot of amount.
Say something.
Yeah, and it don't take much of an amount, does it, Jerry?
No, it does not. No, we just had Narcon training at our office Monday night.
Mm-hmm.
It goes to show exactly how much fentanyl, or even the dust, fentanyl gets into your skin, or you wipe it on your skin. It'll put you on the ground, and it'll knock you out. A certain amount could probably kill you. We had to learn how to use the Narcan to bring officers back to life, because it will kill you. Most of it now is touch and feel. If you get it on your gloves, trying to think if it was Leesburg or what agency it was, where the female officer seen it, recognized it, set it down, and turned around and walked to the back of the car and passed out. And she was gone, and I think they had to hit her 3 times with Narcan spray.
What?
Before they got her back?
Before they got her back.
What do
Fentanyl
they do with it?
Fentanyl is used to bring down large animals.
Elephants.
Yes.
Now, it is from my understanding, it is a drug that can be used. They have fentanyl patches for cancer patients, and which stops the pain and everything else. And there are people who I've seen abuse those in the past. But with that the fentanyl with a small amount, it's a pen, the tip of your pen. The tip of your pen will kill you. That's how much fentanyl you actually need. Now, we were talking about it, we were debating it the other night at work, whether or not you can build up a tolerance to fentanyl, as people did to Oxycontins and Roxycontin, all the cottons, which are opiates. I don't know if you can. I don't think you can. I think if you take too much of it, you're going to die. Here in Bradford County, I know that we've had several. Mm-hmm. When I first came chief here last year, we had a call out near 200B. Found a gentleman that they said was missing. Found him by the pond, and he was in full arrest. He was out. He was as blue as my shirt, and they CPR everything else, and they hit him with that Narcan, and it was like somebody looked at him, and all of a sudden you turn around and look back, and he looked up and was like, "Hey, what are y'all doing here? I want to get on my 4-wheeler and go home." Wow. So Narcan, fentanyl is a bad drug. Methamphetamine in itself is bad. Any drug is bad as far as it goes, but when you get hooked on it like that, and you have it around children that can touch it, that can die, then there's no use for it. There's no use for the people that do fentanyl. I have no mercy for them whatsoever. Fentanyl can just
it's a life destroyer.
And I will tell you, and I'm probably going to hurt a lot of people's feelings when I say this, but if we don't get a secure border, we're going to get a lot more fentanyl over here. And fentanyl now is being made to look like Smarties. So if you can make fentanyls look like Smarties, the candy that's in a wrapper that you give out on Halloween, think of what these guys can give to these kids at Halloween and wrap them up and set them out. And they take one and not know it. And that's what a lot of overdoses are now. Middle schools and high schools are the candy, the gummy that they're taking. And it's not much as marijuana. And it is being put in marijuana. People putting it in there to smoke. People are doing different things. And it's going to kill
Mixing it with crack too, right?
Mixing
Crack,
it,
cocaine, all, yeah.
Pills, fentanyl. And I don't understand it. I've never understood the high. I've never done it. I couldn't understand it. People are sure to say, "Oh, well, you don't know what it is to be, caught on anything or stuff like that."
You can read those until I get there, man. Any of those comments, brother.
But until they say until you've been there, you don't know. Well, I'm not going there. I mean, it's just I've raised my children that drugs are bad. They're always going to be bad, and don't get into them. But they need to stay away. If you see something. When I say if you see something, you say something, and it's to your local law enforcement agencies. I don't care whether you think they're going to say anything, you're going to get in trouble. You're not. Your name, your name's going to be staying out of our mouth, as far as I'm concerned. It just needs to be taken care of. There's a lot more fentanyl that goes on in Bradford County than a lot of people see. And like I was telling y'all earlier, I see a lot of the worst part of humanity. Then I see the better part of humanity.
Right.
I gave you, for instance, one of my hometowns is Huntington, West Virginia, and we go there for sometimes on reunions, and we've been to the motels where we've actually watched them pull into the parking lot, throw somebody out, roll them down the hill, and take off.
Because
they've overdosed, and it used to be a point to where it was so bad. Now they're trying to get it under control like anybody else, just like we are. Are we ever going to beat them? I don't know if we'll ever beat them, but we're going to stay right beside them.
I hate to repeat this, but my son was looking at arrest and ambulance calls in my hometown, and one day they had over 60 overdose calls.
Mm-hmm. And you wouldn't believe the fact of the matter is that you've had some officers go to the same people in a 12-hour shift in certain states that have been there 8, 9, 10 times in that 12-hour shift to give them Narcan to keep them alive. So you see, fentanyl's a bad drug. So if you see it, it's there, it's prevalent. Methamphetamines, it's out there. They're going to mix it. They're going to try it. They're going to put it in a bathtub and see what they can make out of it,
God.
and whatever they can do with it. So it's a very bad drug, and we need to stop it. We need to stop it near here. And we put out there on drugs. I think we should have put it out more to our elementary school kids than I should of our middle school kids. Let's teach our younger kids to say no now instead of our middle school kids, so that middle school knows when to say no.
Yeah, and that's exactly right, and I know y'all fight this battle each and every day, and it's just not here, it's everywhere, and, it's, this thing is getting rampant anytime that you turn around, whether it's local news, whether it's regional, whether it's state news, whether it's capital news or national news, you're hearing about this everywhere. And it's really going rampant. But like you said, man, y'all are trying to at least, will you ever beat it? I don't know if you'll ever beat it, but you're trying to at least control what is going on. So anyway, I'm hoping that some of this curbs down, and I think with the work of all the law enforcements that it will. I've got some things here going on. I want to talk about some Bradford Tornadoes stuff that's going on. We're in our spring sports and things that are going on at Bradford High School. The tennis team, boys and girls, March the 16th, they'll play West Nassau here at our tennis courts. That match time is at 3 p.m. And then on the 20th, they'll play Gainesville High School. That's the Purple Hurricanes. They'll be playing over there at 3:30, both boys and girls. Bradford baseball is 1-6 right now. Need to turn this thing around if we want to try to make the districts. We got March the 14th. They'll play Hamilton County at home. And then on March the 15th, right after that, they'll play Bellevue. That game starts at 6. And then on March the 16th, Middleburg at 7. So they got 3 games in a row, Jerry, all at home. Hopefully we can turn this thing around and see what we can do as far as getting
Whittle's
the
watching.
Yeah, hey, all right.
JW.
There you go.
Got Patricia Baker said the things is we're losing so many people with these drugs. Prayers for the children of today's arrest.
Yes.
Yes, absolutely. Yes, please secure our borders. Shirley Bagwell. Dwayne Van Zandt is watching. I've never been around any of these drugs, so I don't even know what it looks like. So if something happens to the sound, or something happens to the sound.
We got that back.
Good evening, guys. Sorry I'm late. Judith Young.
Judith Young. And
Judith?
tell Judith. Judith, I did read your breaking story with the pit bull. Jerry knew something a little bit about what was going on with that. So, yeah, we caught that as well. Bradford softball. The girls softball team is 2-3. March the 14th, they're playing Baker County here at home. That game starts at 6:30. March the 16th, they'll play Yulee at home as well at 6. So maybe they can turn that's it. Maybe they can turn their season around. All right. Here's some good stuff right here. So
Nathan Blum says that's our chief.
That's our chief, yep. There you go. The Bradford High School girls flag football team. For the last 4 years, we've been sorry. I think we won 1 game in 4 years. They are 6-0. They're 1-0 in the district. They're playing Baker County tonight. I'll get a score for you here in a little bit. Yep. And they're 6-0. Maybe they can win a state championship if they keep that going. Santa Fe College presents basketball clinics and volleyball clinics April the 22nd this year. Bradford High School Gymnasium. Santa Fe College will host basketball and volleyball clinics for Bradford County students on April 22nd, 2023. Boys and girls basketball 10 to 11:30 a.m. Saints men's basketball head coach Chris Mowry, women's basketball head coach Shonda Stebbins, and players from both teams will provide instruction for the first 60 boys and girls in the 5th through the 12th grade that register. Girls volleyball, noon to 1:30. Saints volleyball head coach Bailey Coleman and players will provide instruction for the first 30 girls in 5th through 12th grade that registered. Hey, this is why I want to go, Jerry. Pizza will be served after each session.
You'll eat anything.
Yes, I will. So make sure that you are good. You know, these things, this is what we need. Jerry was talking about keeping our kids off the streets, things
That's
like
right.
that. These kind of things right here is good. Hey, you can send your kid and get them interested in volleyball, basketball, football, baseball, softball, gymnastics, track and field, whatever it may be. But there is things that are going on in our community and within our region that kids can get involved in. Oh, and I forgot about the Bradford track. Look at here. Bradford track is on spring break. The high school is next week, as so will the middle school will be. But their next meet is at Baldwin High School, 3:15. Leaving the school, track meet is at 4:15. And then the Bradford Middle School is going to the Bob Hayes Classic at UNF, Hodges Stadium in Jacksonville. And that should be a great, great event for those young men and women. And then again, spring break is also on next week, the 20th through the 24th. So let me re-enter my password. Trivia. Wednesday nights at Fun Point. Michael Heater is the trivia host over there. I heard you hosted trivia over there one night. Did you?
I did host trivia. It was fun. I enjoyed it. I don't know how many people enjoyed me trying to read some of the questions, but Michael did set me up for the first question right off the bat.
Did he? Did he set you up for failure?
He set me up for failure right off the bat. He set me up for 10 answers, and then he only gave me for, I can't remember what it was. And then the answers were every beer question. It was Budweiser, Bud Light, whatever. Had nothing to do with the question, but he got me.
He got you?
He got me. I'll get it
Okay.
back.
How many teams you have that night? 6 or 7?
I think we might have had 8.
Really? That's a nice turnout.
Yeah, we did.
That's
We
good.
did
That's good. Hey,
some.
so you did good. So, all right.
I enjoyed it. Sometimes it was fun,
Yeah.
until I was started to, read some of the questions, and I couldn't. Mispronunciate.
Oh, I've done that too. So yeah, of course I do. Yeah, and misspell too. They caught me on misspelling as well too, man. You ought to. You know what? You've been there, man. They tear me up when I misspell a word in trivia. But anyway, Wednesday nights, Michael Heater, usual host. That starts at 7 o'clock over at Fun Point. So that'll be tomorrow night at 7 o'clock for anybody that says there's going. And then Thursday night at the DTG, which is better known as the Downtown Grill in beautiful Start, Florida, I will have, of course, trivia at 7:30. We start there. We've been doing it in the dining room area, trying to get the TVs all synced so we can have trivia back in the bar room. As soon as we get everything synced up. Talked to Matt Peterson yesterday. Looks like we're in full force heading that way. So hopefully here within the next 2 or 3 weeks, we'll be back on the bar side. Personally, I like the ambiance of the bar and just the background things that are going on. But it's really been working really well in that dining room area. It's smaller. I can see. I can see what's going on. I can hear what's going on really well. So we'll see how that all plays out. But that's at 7:30 on Thursday night. All right, David, here we go. And now everyone's favorite segment that brings back a little history, brought to you by our great media partners, WAG, Eagle Country 106.3 FM, Chuck and Mary Kramer and Lynn Vellis, mine and Byron's boss on Friday nights when we do Tornado football, which, by the way, we had a great season. We're looking for another great season. And the Bradford County Telegraph and their great staff, including owner John Miller, editor-in-chief Mark Crawford, the ad guru John Ryan Tillman, and, of course, Mr. Photogenic himself, Cliff Smelly. Here's what's the date. These are the headlines. Oh, here we go. Dave's bringing it up right here.
Albert says hi, guys.
All right. Here's what's the date, but before we do that, Dave, this is what we do, Jerry. 1, 2, 3. Hello, Alvy. There we go. These are the headlines from the Bradford Telegraph during the first, actually, this is going to be the second week or third week, Jerry? Second week of March in what year? BHS Auditorium gets a facelift. 2 railroad crossings will be closed and start. Jacksonville Dealer Group acquires Beck Chevrolet. Was that the second week of March of 2018, 2019, or 2020? Again, here we go. This is a chance for you guys. This is where you play. BHS Auditorium gets a facelift. 2 railroad crossings will be closed and start. Jacksonville Dealer Group acquires Beck Chevrolet. Was it the second week of March of 2018, 2019, or 2020? All right, here we go. Thanks to the infusion of Capital Outlaw funding, the BHS Capital Outlaw, no, that can't be right, but it is. No, Outlast. Capital Outlast funding, the BHS Auditorium received new paint, flooring, and seating, as well as TV and giant screens. Though the Stark City Commission resists 2 railroad crossings will be closed after the construction of the State Road 100 overpass. For the second time in nearly 40 years, a Jacksonville-based automotive company acquired Stark Chevrolet dealership. The Scott McRae Automotive Group first acquired Beck Chevrolet in Stark. So let's check our comments. If you'll pull up some comments there. Again, was that the second week of March of 2018, 2019, or 2020?
I have no answers yet.
You will. So let's see what we got. That's our chief. Go back up. No, the other way there.
Yep.
Your other up.
Yeah, my other up.
Yeah, your other
That's
up.
where I was going. I ain't got none yet.
Tricia Baker says, good night, gentlemen. Prayers for everyone. Absolutely.
D.A. Cruz is watching.
Yeah, Renee Stiegel-Shaw. Let me tell you.
Says 2019.
Okay, Amy says 2019. Let's see here. All right, Amy.
Tammy Tetstone.
Yeah, what does she say?
2018.
2018.
Sharon
Petterpin, the model?
Edward, yeah.
2019?
2019.
Okay. Who else? Well, we ain't got nobody else right now. So, let's go around to you. What do you think it is?
Judith Young says 2019.
Okay, 2019 for Judith Young.
I'm going to have to go with 2020.
2020 for Jerry. Dave?
2018.
2018. Mitchell?
I'm going to go with the chief.
2020. Okay. Can't give an answer because I already know it. So, yeah.
Melissa Cribbs says 2019.
Melissa Cribbs says 2019. Well, as we're getting all these guesses in, again, thank
Judith
you.
Young says 2019. Oh, she already gave
Yeah,
that
she gave me that. So, again, welcome into On the Spot with David Rodgers. No Mr. Byron Bagwell tonight as he's working and fulfilling his duty with his work obligations. No Austin Stevens tonight. He had to travel down south and take care of some business there. I do have the Dancing Destroyer, Super Dave Holland, that just joined us. No, you've been here.
Can't get that.
You like that,
David
didn't you?
did the Dancing Destroyer.
The Dancing Destroyer, Super
Yeah.
Dave Holland.
Yeah.
He's producing and directing the show. Mr. Mitchell Gunner just joined us from On the Spot Motorsports Media. We'll talk about that here in just a second. And, of course, our special guest, co-host of the night with me, he is the Lottie Chief of Police. He is Jerry Feltner. Say hello, Jerry, everybody.
Hello, everybody.
Hello, everybody. And do we have any more guesses?
D.A. Cruz says 2019.
D.A. Cruz says 2019. All right, this is your chance to win a $25 gift card to the Downtown Grill. Dave, how do we do it? So if you answer correctly, you get your name put in a pot.
Yep.
At the end of the month, or the first week of the month, we usually go ahead and draw our winners. Well, guess what? We didn't draw a winner last week because we've been off the last 3 weeks. So next week, we will draw the winner for February. We have those names, so we'll put them in that hat. We'll stir them up, and we'll find out who wins that $25 gift card to the Downtown Grill. But you have a chance this month, because it is a short month since we didn't have any shows up until now, for you to be able to win that $25 gift card to the Downtown Grill. Any more guesses? That's it, right?
That's it, right?
All right, well, we're going to go ahead and, wait a minute. Shirley
Bagwell
says,
says 2019.
Okay. All right.
Now, I got the fastest 5G there is, so it's got to be.
Yeah, it's got to be. So it's got to be, man. All right. And the answer is, Dave, get ready. And it is none of the above. So I guess none of you win nothing.
Ellie says hello, Jerry.
Oh,
hello,
man.
Ellie.
Hello, Alec. No, it is March of 2019.
March of 2019.
March of 2019. So everybody that says 2019 gets their name put in that hat for the drawing that we will do the first week of April. All right. So, do we have an answer is, David? I never gave you that, so we will not have any answer is. Somebody asked me about that for the trivia. So we're not going to do that this time. So we'll just put a regular question in there for that. I want to read a couple of little things here national-wise, and I know, Jerry, you had a little something that me and you talked about you can elaborate on. President Joe Biden told Americans to have confidence in the U.S. banking system yesterday after the collapse of Silicon Valley Bank and Signature Bank over the last week, calling on Congress and bank regulators to strengthen regulations for financial institutions.
Sheila's through with Evers, put 19 in also.
Okay, we got her. So I guess it was coming through. All right, we got her. Well, what I got to say about that is, yeah, we wouldn't be in this position if somebody was doing their job.
If somebody would have stopped Bitcoin a long time ago.
Yeah, there you go. An Islamic extremist convicted of killing 8 people in an attack on Manhattan bike path in October 2017 was automatically sentenced to life in prison without parole yesterday after a federal jury was unable to reach a unanimous decision on his punishment. Florida's southwestern Gulf Coast has seen a flare-up in harmful algal blooms known as red tides in recent weeks, posing health risks to vacationers and harm to wildlife. It's the area's worst series of blooms since 2018, which was the most severe event in 70 years. The Biden administration approves oil drilling projects, and Alaska's National Petroleum Reserve issues separate rules restricting drilling on 13 million other acres of the reserve.
Dirtbag's watching. Raymond Roden's watching.
Yeah. Raymond. What's going on, Raymond?
Hey, Raymond,
how you doing, brother? Good grief. I hope your wife is watching with you so she can explain to you what's going on.
Yeah.
right?
Or at least you're cooking something to eat.
Yeah, at least you're cooking something to eat. There you Raymond Roden. I love Raymond, man. What a character he is, man. Make you laugh about anything, I tell you. So that's just some of the national news that was going on. Jerry, you had something that you were talking to me about that I didn't realize because we was putting this stuff together. What was that you heard today?
The Russian jet that hit a U.S. drone over the Sea of
the Sea of. You remember what it was?
Can't remember the name of the
Was
sea.
it here?
Sea.
Okay, was it overseas, Jerry?
It was overseas. It was near Kyiv and Russia, Poland, all that. That body of water.
Was it the Black Sea?
The Black Sea, yes.
Okay, the Black Sea. Okay, the Black Sea. Dave, look at that. Dave, man, now that trivia. I love that geography.
Yeah.
Well, I'm trying to put the seas together, and they're all going right there. You know?
The seas together.
But apparently now they're saying it was first it was hit, now it was shot down. Now we don't know. Of course, you're never going to hear the real story. Sometimes about these
10
things
different
that happen.
stories.
You know, it's a shame that we're in the position that we are in another country, putting boots on the ground. They say we're not, but I still think we got plenty of them there that shouldn't be there.
Well, you know, we look at Jerry, what's going on. You know, in the world today, and me and Byron's talked about this, Dave. If you listen to our show, we've talked about this, about all the chaos that's going on in the world today. Look, you know, I just heard today that Russia's firing ballistic missiles, testing those out.
That can't be stopped.
Yeah, and you're right. But the press over in Russia is calling for Vladimir Putin to go ahead and fire these things. Hey, let's see how it works. And they want to fire against us.
They're working so far against Tel Aviv. And Shirley Bagwell says Arsham trivia.
Oh, yeah, she sure is. Yeah.
And,
The news media
Diane
in
Santos
Russia.
Radio is watching.
Okay, that's all right.
Who do you believe?
Yeah, well, and again, the reports that you get out of there, me and Mitchell, we've all talked about this. What do you believe out of there? You know, and, you know, we can just take it as the mainstream media gives it to us. And do I believe that was said? Yeah, I think it was. I believe that was said.
Well, the news media is controlled by Putin anyway. So
Over there.
Over there, yeah.
Over there.
So they're going to tell us over here they're going to tell us anyway. So, but they apparently was hitting missiles today that they're saying that the air defense missiles could not stop bombing certain areas. So we don't know whether it was actual ballistic missiles that they're shooting around the world or what they're doing with them. So.
And look, China's got them. China wants to take us over. You know, China can't stand our guts either. North Korea, they love us when they're buying up all our land, all of our beef, everything that they can buy up over here. And I'm going to get to something here, and I want y'all's opinion, because me and Byron talked a little bit about this. And Mitchell, I'll get your opinion on it too as well. But North Korea would love to shove it in our tail. You know, I just don't know if he wants to go into that kind of deal with us, Mitchell. Just North Korea by himself. The Middle East, sort of quiet right now, but don't let that fool you. The Middle East could blow up in any moment. You know how that is with the terrorist groups over there, the terrorist cells. People don't like us over there. The only people that like us over there is Israel. And, you know, they're surrounded by all these people that would love nothing to do than to bomb Israel and the you-know-what.
But we better protect God's people.
Well, and see, we have to protect them, too. How many times have we had to call off Israel on attacking Syria or Iraq or Iran or any of those nations over there? So, you know, that could get volatile too, you know, if an uprising comes. They're always going to fight over that little piece of land they call the Gaza Strip, the West Bank. That's just a never-ending thing. I just can't believe that they would want to kill each other for a piece of land. But to Israel, it's important, and to the Palestinians, it's important. So what do you say there? What do you do? I mean, you know, they've called for ceasefires. It seems to go away for a little while, and then all of a sudden, somebody gets annoyed and torqued off, and all of a sudden it's back on again. You know, I've been over to Israel. You know, I've been over by the Gaza Strip and over in Haifa and all those areas. That's just a little bit east of that. And you know, we used to hear that mess going on all the time when we was over there showing our airplanes. And it's not a good situation
Albie
for
says,
anybody.
good night, friends. School tomorrow.
Oh, okay, Albie. Good night, my friend. We love
Night,
you.
Albie.
Hey, I know you know Mitchell's car. Yeah, I do know you know that. So, anyway, I want to get back before we get on to that and to talking to you. Mitchell just came in. Bradford County Strawberry Festival Car Show is on March the 25th. We talked about the car show. The money raised will go to the Cub Scout Pack 301. $20 per vehicle and a 50-50 drawing. And I believe, if I'm not mistaken, I'm going to be one of the judges in that. I'm not sure who else Mitchell's got, but we've got, we're going to be doing
I
that.
got my son
And so-
watching now, Jacob Swaggerty.
Jacob Swaggerty's watching.
The swag.
All right, the swag is on with us. So glad to have you on, Jacob. I was talking about you earlier with your dad, how much I love and respect you. Come on in here, man. Look at here. We got a Cub Scout right here.
Show that arm.
Show that arm.
The other arm.
The other arm.
All them patches.
All the patches. Look at that. Turn around this way.
301.
Look at there. Look at there. Look at there. My
Hey,
goodness,
hey.
guys, look at it. Who's this
That's-
handsome young man? This is Zane Gunner. This is Mitchell's youngest son.
I'm trying to fix it.
You're trying to fix it?
Yeah.
All right. Well, let's look at this one. Look. Show that. That's the Boy Scout patch. Look at all them things, Mitchell.
I didn't mean to get this one.
You did not mean to get that one.
But he got it in.
Everybody got it anyway. Well, it looks good on
good.
the uniform. So this is Zane right here. Dave wants to talk to you real quick.
Got Denny Thompson watching now.
Denny. Good old Denny. You like Denny?
He's all right.
He's all right, yeah. He does a pretty good job, doesn't he?
He does a good job as a clerk.
Yeah, he does.
He's up on top of his game. He's been going to school, learning everything he needs to.
There we go. All right, getting on to some local things. Let's talk to our very special guest that you've been hearing. He's been helping me co-host the show tonight. Chief of Police over in Lottie, Florida, Jerry Felder. Welcome to the show. Thank you for stepping in the absence of Byron Bagwell and Austin Stevens. Glad that you could be here. Let's just talk a little bit about what's going on. I want to throw you under the bus a little bit.
No,
I want to run you back over. Nah, I would never do that.
that's all right.
I would
You
never
wouldn't be
do
the
that.
first person.
It would be the first. No, I just want to. Somebody asked me to ask you this question: what made you decide to run for chief of police?
Believe it or not, I was actually retired at the time,
Mm-hmm.
and I had several people come to me in the community and understood that Shane, which was the ex-Lottie chief of police,
Mm-hmm.
was no longer going to run, and asked me if I would run for chief of police. And I said, if I had the backing of the people, so I did a little
Homework.
investigation and homework,
Homework.
and I had the backing of the people, and so I ran for the job.
Yep. Won it pretty convincingly.
I won, yeah,
Yeah, you won.
pretty good.
Yep, pretty good. So anyway, I'm glad you did because not that Shane was doing a bad job or anything, you know.
Well, Shane retired. He
And
went
Shane
somewhere
retired. Right. He went somewhere. Yeah, and that's exactly right. And we needed a good person to step in that loves the community, knows the community, knows the people in the community, and that
Lived
was
there
Jerry.
50
And-
years.
Yeah.
Lived in the same spot on 301. Well, I don't live exactly on 301, but right off 301. Middle
Right.
of town.
Yep.
Lived there 50 years. My children went to school there in Lottie. We grew up there. My grandparents, my uncle started the Shell station. They're
Yeah.
they're not going to like that picture very well, but that's my daughter and my
yeah,
son,
beautiful.
Skylar and Jacob.
Yep.
But my uncle Milo Smith started the Shell station. It's my son-in-law, Ronnie North. He's now a Nassau County deputy. And, oh, there's a pretty picture.
That's a
Me
pretty
and
picture
me,
right there, ain't it?
Yes, it is.
Not a pretty picture of you.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, the young lady that's sitting there.
And then, like I said, my uncle Milo started the ice cream station there in Longview.
Yep.
Everybody calls it the ice cream station.
Yep.
There's a picture of an MOU being signed by myself and Chief Johnson where that we can help each other back and forth if needed, called to one another's agency to back each other up.
Right.
We also have one of those signed with the sheriff now, and the sheriff has now deputized each and every one of the Lottie police officers so we can go out into the county and help all the deputies.
Right. That's good.
When they need be, because sometimes they're shorthanded, North End, or we're shorthanded, or one of the other. They need us to go to a call. They may be on a call, so we'll go ahead and answer a call there too.
Right.
I was saying something else. I can't remember what it was.
Well, you were talking about the ice cream station.
The ice cream. My grandparents, how we got involved in Lottie. They grew up here. Well, my grandmother and grandfather started the Standard Oil gas station, which was on the other side of the red light of 225 and Lake Street. So we've got history of businesses being started in Lottie, and we've come back. We left, we came back, and now we're here to stay. Can't run us out of town.
No, and that's exactly right. And I'll tell you, you want some of the best ice cream around?
Yeah.
You stop at that dadgum station right there, buddy. Let me tell you what, travelers purposely stop in there, even if they don't have to stop. They could be full of gas.
Yes, sir.
They could be full of gas and don't need anything. They'll stop for that ice cream.
I still know people that stop, and gentlemen who bring their wives there on Sunday after church to get their ice cream.
To get their ice cream. Yeah, man, that's the deal right
That's
there.
the one right there by the light.
The Lottie Shell.
It's a lot of shell.
The Lottie Shell station.
Hey, you need to come up, man, and get some of that ice cream.
So now we
brother.
got Josh Hill and Noah Tinsler watching.
All right, Josh Hill.
They come in to watch. I know what's going to happen later. As they're ragging me pretty good.
Oh, for sure they are. Yeah,
Whatever I'm doing on the show here, I guess maybe I'm scratching my ear too much or something.
Well, it can't be no worse than I've got going on, brother. So, anyway, what's as far as crime rate, things like that in Lottie? I know since you've been in office now, how long?
A year and 3 months.
In 3 months. That's what I thought it was about 15 months or so, and I didn't want to say it until you said it.
Yeah, it's okay.
But crime rate.
Our crime rate this year is kind of went up a little bit because we did have a shooting at the fast track.
Yes, I remember that.
Unfortunately, I believe that was something that spilled over from the county that got into an argument up at the fast track. Of course, thank God the gentleman lived. The other subject, he was arrested in Ocala. They pinged his phone. If you're going to do something, turn your phone off. But you're going to be pinged. You're going to be caught. He's in jail. They're still waiting on that trial. We've had a little bit more car wrecks. Understanding that back in the years, now that Florida is the third growing state in the nation.
In the nation, yeah.
So we have more traffic coming through Lottie 301. We have more traffic coming through I-95, I-75. I mean, if you don't believe me, go look at there are 4 or 5 lanes now. You'll get run over. We do uphold the speed limit in Lottie, and we are going to continue to uphold that speed limit. I had a complaint the other day that one of the officers actually wrote somebody a 4 mile an hour over the speed limit ticket, which I had to do some digging into and found out that that is not true. We will not write a 4 mile an hour speed ticket. Not only that, 4 mile an hour over the speed limit, we can't write you a ticket. We can stop you for any other probable cause, but we cannot write you a ticket for that amount of money. Now, we do write citations, and I'll tell you, we give a little bit of speed. I mean, I'll get out on the highway. I sometimes find myself doing 10, 13, 15 mile an hour over the speed limit. If I get stopped, I get stopped. So you're coming into town, the city of Lottie, we have a school. Everybody everybody says, well, every chief says this, every chief says this. When you come into Lottie, right in front of my house, if you don't know where that's at, just look for the 45 mile an hour sign, you'll see it. Because I can't get out of my driveway at times until I turn my radar unit on and point it at people until they start slowing down, so that they know that you can't go past the 45 and then slow down. You have to slow down when you get to the 45. We have written several tickets, I think, last month out of 451 citations, I think. And that's everything from 13 to 30 mile an hour over the speed limit. And that is anywhere between that 55 and 45 mile an hour speed limit zone.
Right.
I mean, you have 4 miles from the time you reach the Bradford County line till you reach Lottie to slow down. You see them. I mean, there's big yellow signs. I mean, you can't miss them.
No, you can't.
And you know, I'm not saying anything about anybody, but you know, you're just not paying attention. And when you get in there, people know where the guys sit. They sit at the school.
Yep.
And if you're not there, they're sitting in the school zone.
Mm-hmm.
Questions arise. I'll answer this question for some people because I know it's going to be asked for some people that live in the city and outside the city. They want to know why we still have our school zone where it's at. Our school zone is where it's at because we have buses. We have buses full of kids that have to cross that intersection to go east and west, north and south. And that light is a light that helps slow everybody down. Supposed to help slow everybody down so these buses can get through without any accidents. Everybody says, well, we don't need this. We don't need it. We don't need the speed school zone. Well, I'm here to tell you that the school zone's there. I'm not going to change it. I'm not going to pressure anybody in the government to change it. It's staying where it's at. Well, we don't have anybody, you don't have somebody to direct traffic across there. I don't need nobody to direct traffic across there. I got a guy that sits right there and watches traffic. And if you're over the speed limit, they're going to write you tickets. I think the other day I was talking to one of the officers. He wasn't there 30 minutes and wrote 4 citations over 25 miles an hour. So they were doing 50 and a 25, with the lights there and the traffic light. So they're doing pretty good. We've got some warrants arrest. We've had some on the traffic stops, people not wanting to pay attention. We've had some arrests that people want to argue. I'm not an arguing guy, so you get 3 chances. And that's what my guys have been told. You've been asked, and if it's a lawful command, and they ask you for your license, and you fail again, and you fail again after the 3rd time, you're going to jail.
Right.
Whether you be in the vehicle or whether we got to take you out of the vehicle, one or the other.
Right.
I mean, it's just lawful command, and it's something by the state of Florida. We want to make sure that people are safe in the city of Lottie, and I'm going to make people in the Lottie safe. I do work days, I work evenings, and I do work night shift. And people sometimes they go, well, we don't know where you're at, or you haven't been by in a while. And I'm like, well, I've been by, you just ain't seen
You
it.
just ain't seen it, right?
It's like anybody else in the police department area. You need a cop, they're never around, right?
Right, right. That's the old saying.
Yeah.
And you know that fast track's open 24.
That's
24 hours a day. And you know, we all know everybody that works in there and stuff. There's many times I've stopped in there. He's not telling a lie. There's many times I've stopped in there coming from an event or whatever, and Jerry's there. Jerry's patrolling the area, doing his thing. So what you were saying is not you work all the shifts.
That's what I say. I work them all, and I try to get out with my guys to work. I want to make sure they're doing what's right. We've had a few incidents in Lottie lately that have led to a few complaints, but the complaints have been answered, I hope.
Right.
I'm sure there's some that out there. There's probably that 10% of the haters that I'm going to have, no matter where I'm at or what I do.
Right.
No matter what I say tonight or anything else, it's going to be 10% of the haters. Most part, we have backing of all the city commissioners to do that we need for all safety equipment. We have our needs for our vehicles. We've now got all computers in every vehicle.
Yep.
Everybody's got a computer. They've got a radar. They've got their printer. We no longer write citations unless the printers go down, and that'll be an old one. We do set up the office now. I actually have computers in my vehicle. I have a computer in my offices. Everything that we need. Safety issues for all vehicles. We have now jumper cables for all vehicles to help people who are DAVs stuck on the side of the road. We're going to stop and see what's wrong with anybody on the side of the road. And if I find out one of the officers hasn't stopped for someone that's on the side of the road, that officer usually ends up losing his car for about a couple days.
Sure.
I mean, if I'm stopped, I'd like to stop and somebody help me.
Absolutely.
We're not big. We're small. We have an agency where we need to stop, and we care.
And you know, let me ask you, Jerry, and that's some great points you bring up. By the way, there's a lot of excellent comments there. That's that hometown feel that we have, though, right? You know, you've been here around for 50 years. You know, a lot of us been here 25, 30 plus years. And it's the hometown feel. It's, you know, you help your neighbor. You grew up helping your neighbor. You know, your mom and dad, you know, help the neighbors. And I think you just brought that, and we should. You should do that, bringing that into law enforcement. And like you said, what's the worst feeling in the world? Somebody coming here from New York, they break down somewhere there, and you know, it's at midnight, 12:30, 1 o'clock. Man, and you can flash the blue lights. Come on, I'm ready to see you.
That's another thing that we have. We actually have people working nights. I've got shifts covered, day, evening, midnight, which hasn't been in a while. I've been out till 2 or 3, sometimes 4 o'clock in the morning. I have other guys that come out. That is one of our paid overtime positions if they want to come out and work it. A lot of our officers are corrections officers that have been there for a while. Some of the things that I've done in the past year, just to bring up real quick.
Go ahead. Yeah, you can.
They went from being paid $10 an hour to, I think most of them are making $12.50 an hour now when they come out and work part-time.
Wow.
All my full-time guys are making anywhere from $15 to $18 an hour now, so we've moved that up because everybody's going to have to make up. Anybody that's full-time, I think by next year and the year after, has got to be $15 an hour anyway.
Yeah, anyway.
We're waiting on a grant from the governor to hopefully say that he'll try to help us out the same way he helped out the 16 counties or whatever it was that helped boost their money up to $45,000 an hour. So maybe we can get some of our officers up to that.
That's good.
We've been working diligently, or I have been. And the guys, I'm gonna tell you what, I can't do without my guys because them guys help me. They push me to say, hey, look, we know we got to have this or got to have that. So I'll go in front of the city commission or the first year I was there, I saved them $45,000 right off the bat.
Right.
We got a call from the sheriff's office. We got ammunition because the sheriff's office went from 9mm or from 40 millimeter to 9mm. We also got 25 tasers that were free. That's $35,000. Each officer was sharing a taser. Each officer now has a body cam. They just finished, the reason I say we had a few episodes here lately, they just finished de-escalation class last week. And so we're moving forward, and we're going to keep moving forward.
Byron said, I understand the lead way. The answer to all that should be the law's the law. If they break it, they should pay the price.
Well, speeding is one thing. It's an officer's discretion. And if he wants to write a citation, he can write the citation. If he doesn't want to write the citation, that's up to him.
Right.
Now, if you get into a criminal aspect of it, we have, driving while license suspended for a first-time offender who hasn't been notified. He can be issued a citation and then go to court. If they get their license and go back, usually, depends on what the judge sees or what happens. They can go and dismiss their citation or whatever. But they got multiple and they're habitual offenders. They're going to jail.
Right.
That's
bottom line.
Bottom line is you're going to go to jail. When I catch you with drugs, anything like we've been talking about here earlier, we got no stop there. You're going straight to jail. You put my officers in danger, and basically when they stop you and they get out and they got meth and they got to have their gloves on. They got safety procedures. They got safety that they have to do and follow. And sometimes they get in a hurry and they forget and they grab something without a pair of gloves on, and they get that fentanyl in them. Then we're at that stage of whether or not they can actually hit themselves with the fentanyl or the Narcan, or dispatch calls and says, "Hey guys, you okay? You okay? If not, then they send a unit." And that's anywhere in the county. We're going to back up anybody that way.
Well, as far as speed limit in Laude, I've been around for 30-something years, and it's just embedded into me to slow down when I go through Laude.
Yeah.
It's always been considered one of three speed traps. You know, you got Laudy, you had
Waldo.
Hampton, and Waldo. Okay, so you got those. Hampton and Waldo, of course, no longer exist. I was talking to ex-Sheriff Milner at a Kiwanis meeting, I believe it was, and they had said that they had went back through 40-some thousand tickets in Gainesville. And out of those 40-some odd thousand tickets that were written from the city of Laudy, I don't know if it was 1,700 or 700 to be exact. I can't remember what he quoted, but they were just the ones that were found to be under a certain amount of speed that should have never been written. Or the statute may have been wrong or something.
I don't know how many times I pulled off my road right there off of 125, and I can assure you that I have saved somebody from a ticket. Why? Because they're coming around that corner that Jerry said, that curve, coming into the Laudy city limits. I'm pulling off on 125, starting to get up to speed, and they have to slow down because I can assure you they were doing 65, maybe even 70, like Jerry's saying. And I can guarantee you they had to slow down. And as soon as you pass Laudy School right there, and old boy's sitting there, I don't care who it is, Todd, whoever it is, sitting there. If you're going past that, you know, like he said, more than 5 miles an hour, they're going to pull you, man. And that's just the bottom line. And I think people even that come through here from up north knows that rule now. They know it.
And we like to spend a lot now. I've made a rule with all the guys. They've got to spend a lot of time on these side streets that we have, not just 301.
Yes.
So last week, we had a complaint about the semi-trucks and dump trucks coming down 225 going towards Kingsley Lake. Well, we've got the radar units that actually don't show you your speed or anything else. They actually have a picture that takes a picture of your vehicle and its speed. So we did that, and believe it or not, you wouldn't believe how many, guess how many vehicles went down that road in 1 week.
Oh,
1 week, 7,000. That was going one way.
Jeez.
We turned the sign around. I'm waiting to see what it is coming back.
But
out of those 7,000, I think 39 of those were over 41 miles an hour as far as the semis and the dump trucks go, which is pretty good considering that's our local coming from DuPont and our log trucks and our dump trucks. And they all know, they know to slow down. They know what it's about. They don't want to cause an accident. They don't want to hit anybody. They do the speed and they come through most of the time. That's fine. But we do have the people who do. We get these people out here that's building roads, don't know where they're coming from in Green Cove or a couple other places, and they decide to speed. But me and Nathan take care of that Lake Street pretty good, and so does Todd. And we take care of Grove and Truman and some of the other ones on the backside.
Yeah, and so far a great interview, and I appreciate you coming on with us. And I know we're getting ready to wrap up the show here in just a few minutes, but you want to tell everybody who some of your officers are, who's working for you?
I do.
Got a list?
I got a list.
Do you? All right.
I have Nathan Blum, who was just promoted from captain to major. I've got Robert Jordan, who was just promoted from patrolman to sergeant. So that we could get some different things rolling and going and teaching there. Michael Starling, R.J. Robert Starling is better known as. Robert Seraphin, James Foster, Avery Perch, Brian Jones, Caesar Rodriguez, and if everybody knows Caesar, you can't help him do nothing but laugh when you're around him.
Yep.
And Aquaria Duncan. So we have a few. I've got 10 altogether. I started out with 4, I think, and now we've got 10.
Wow.
And everybody I know of so far, except for maybe 1 or 2 of those guys, just come out as auxiliary and don't get paid, but everybody else gets paid when they come out to work.
That's very good. So. All right. Our guest, Chief Jerry Feller of the Laudy Police Department. I want to thank you for joining us tonight and being a co-host. And you come on anytime that you want. If you have any issues, if there's any issues from anyone, just real quick, how should they go about it? If they have a complaint or anything like that?
If they have a complaint, they can contact me personally. They can come to the police department. We have an officer's complaint form that's sitting out right there where they can get it.
Right.
Where they can fill it out and mail it back in. or they have to have it notarized and mailed back in. They can call me. They can get the number from the girls up front. I wish I could tell you what my work phone number is right off the top of my head. But they had to change it because I kept getting calls from the jail in Levy County, and I don't know anybody down in Levy County. So if that doesn't work, I'm not afraid to give you all my cell phone number, my personal number, and you can call me personally, and that's 904-769-3902. And as you can see, Josh is calling. Yes, Josh.
What did Joshua say?
Hold on. You got a complaint. What's your complaint?
What's your complaint?
You need some more policing in the apartment.
In the Lonnie apartments?
You live in the apartments. That's your job. No?
Hey, ask Joshua. Hey, 10 points for everybody?
10 points for everybody.
Oh, Josh.
Bye.
He's a good guy. Joshua Hill.
He messing with you, Jerry.
They, like I said, it's just now going to start.
It's just starting right now.
It's starting just as soon as I get up and leave out
of here. It's going to blow up, and it really will.
Good timing, you're giving your number out, and now your phone's ringing.
Well, the thing about it is they all know it. But for those who don't know it, they get it, they want it, they call it. All they got to do is make a phone call.
All right. Jerry, stick with us until we close the show out. Mitchell Gunner is on here with us right now. He stopped in, brought his young son in here, and showed us the Cub Scout Pack 301. That's where that Strawberry Festival car show, the money raised, will go to. $20 per vehicle, and a 50-50 drawing as well. We'll all be involved with that on the spot. We'll be involved with that. But I want to talk to Mitchell just a few minutes. And, Mitchell, I'll give you a few minutes here. Man, I tell you, what a great event we had this weekend with the Gator Nationals. Everything going on down there. You spent most of the week down there and did anything from taking pictures and photo ops and interviews to even racing down the track. And we had a great interview with a personal lady that I've actually just fell in love with, Courtney Enders. Erica is great, but Courtney, I tell you, David, wasn't she a great interview? She was fun, wasn't she?
Yeah, she enjoyed being here talking with us, and we enjoyed having her on the show.
And if it wouldn't have been late, I assure you that Courtney Enders would have still be there talking to us. But Mitchell, give us a little oversight, a little bit of what went on at the Gator National, what we got coming up on the Spot Motorsports media page.
Well, always take the opportunity of going out there to the Gator Nationals to network with teams and drivers and even members of each crew. And right now we're starting to line up some interviews probably after I get off vacation this coming week. And one of those is Miss Brandemere. Her family owns the track in Denver, and they have an anniversary coming up, and we're going to talk a little bit about that anniversary.
Right.
And also Chase, which is a rookie. Chase Van Sant is a rookie this year in Pro Stock Motorcycle, done a really great job. He was able to make it to the semifinals before he lost to Angie Smith. And another rookie actually won it riding a motorcycle with Vance and Hines, and that was Gage Herrera. Mm-hmm. He was able to win Pro Stock Motorcycle. Of course, we had Courtney on because something came up and Erica had other obligations with a sponsor, and she could not get out of that dinner. Right. She had to go. But unfortunately, Gainesville has, still left a thorn in her side.
Yes.
She qualified number 2. The only difference in mile per hour, I think, between her and Troy Coughlin Jr., which is her teammate, was 0.59 or 0.49 miles an hour.
Yes.
Was the difference maker because he was a little quicker on the mile per hour, which earned him that number 1 spot. Come around Sunday for eliminations. Unfortunately for her, got around there to start the car for first round eliminations. The car would not start. They worked on it. The NHRA allow you 2 minutes to figure out what's wrong and get that car fired up to get up to the beams. And unfortunately, it would never start for her. They hauled the car back to the trailer. They put it up on the Pro Jacks, and the car fires right up. And that is one of the tracks that she has never won at is Gainesville, and the other one is Denver, which I was talking about Brandomere Speedway. That's where that's at in Denver. So those are the only 2 tracks that are left on her list that she has not won in pro stock. And Funny Car, Matt Hagan was the winner, and I'm real good friends with a gentleman that works on Steve Torrance's Top Fuel car. Steve had a great weekend. Mike Salinas had a really good weekend. And Mike Salinas was able to edge out Steve Torrance by, I want to say, the motion of victory was 28 10,000ths of a second was the difference at the stripe. And so both of them are showing up. Steve's been working really hard in the off season.
Right.
He's a 4-time champion, and when they kind of fell a little flat last year, they've been working really hard to get back on top. But like I told some of the crew guys, it's better to be going out of here second in points than 16th in points or below.
Yeah.
So.
Well, and I'm gonna tell you, somebody else had a great weekend too. That was Josh Hart.
Oh, yes.
Josh Hart had a great weekend because that was a color. All right, man. Thank you, Jerry, for joining us.
Thank you, Jerry.
I appreciate it.
Hey. I appreciate y'all.
Yeah, thank you, brother. Hey, good luck with everything, and we'll be talking soon.
We will.
Absolutely. Jerry Feltner.
If you ever need me to take care of you down at Johnville for trivia, let me know.
Hey,
All right, not
I
a
got
problem.
a question. Do you give out those nickels like
I
the
do.
sheriff does? Oh, all right.
But mine are real. they're not wooden.
They're not wooden.
As a
So,
matter of fact, here you go. Let's see this. I got one.
you got one?
If you got one, you can come by and see me, and I'll give you the rest of them. I'll give you all the rest of them. There you go.
Oh, yeah.
There you go.
Thank you.
Oh, man.
Man. All right, hey.
I like
I'll
it.
be coming to get mine now.
Come get it. You
All
can,
right.
you can show that up there when I get it. See you later,
Yeah.
buddy. Come by, I'll give you one too.
There you go. So, anyway, Josh Hart had a good weekend.
Oh, yeah.
Because even though, what did he wind up finishing? Like 14, 13? Anyway, he had a call-out race on Saturday. And there was some big cash up there, David. $80,000
Wow.
to the winner. And Josh Hart beat him. Local guy from Ocala, Florida. And, man, took home that $80,000. And he said he was going to give everybody a bonus. And I believe him. I believe he gave everybody a bonus. We was trying to get a loan out of him.
Yeah.
But we couldn't ever find him. Remember, we was trying to locate him, and he was nowhere to be found. Isn't that amazing? Because we, hey, we just wanted dinner paid for, Mitchell. So, but anyway, it was a great weekend, wasn't it, Mitchell?
It was definitely a great weekend. It was a sellout crowd. Definitely on Saturday. If you were watching on FS1, you could just see how many people was filling the parking lot. I mean, it was crazy wild. I want to thank NHRA myself for allowing me to have the ability to showcase my car, and with the other gentleman down from Bradenton to help promote street legal drags and bracket racing. And the main thing what we want to do is to get people off the street from street racing and bring it out there where it's a safe environment. You have EMS standing by. You don't have to worry about anybody jumping out in front of you. So get out there and do it at your local track and stay safe. That was the main thing. And it was another honor to be able to take the car down the track.
Yes.
So had a real great time with talking with folks about that and explaining the program to them. It's a sport that I really love, and the only person that you can blame for losing a race is yourself.
Yeah.
Or you can blame the car for not running consistent
right.
in bracket racing, but majority of it comes down to yourself and how well you perform at the tree and paying attention down at the end of the stripe. Make sure that you're not out too far or you're too far back. But we can talk about those games sometimes that we play called sandbagging.
Yes.
At a later time, but just about every bracket racer pretty much holds some numbers to be safe to make sure they'll win.
All right. So, with that in our rearview mirror, we're folks, and bless you. we're focusing on the show. So, on the Spots Motorsports Media, give the show a plug, Mitchell. Tell them what we got.
Oh, definitely. Come over. We try to keep you updated with, mostly I do attend to plug more in for NHRA than I do NASCAR.
Absolutely.
But I do try to keep up with NASCAR and some of the changes that goes on in the winters, both all the series, Cup, Xfinity, and the Truck Series, the Craftsman Truck Series. Have a lot of fun doing that.
I've seen some Formula One stuff up there.
Every once in a while, like
you'll
maybe
get
if they run down in St. Petersburg, Florida, we'll post some stuff like that. But we mostly morely NHRA than we do any other motorsports.
Right.
But it's been a pleasure. Like I said, we're working on getting some great guests on. Chase, the gentleman I was telling you about, Chase Van Zandt, a rookie, very, very talented young man, very good speaker, very good. I see why he's in the sport, because you want people that are really fluent in talking to promote their products and stuff. And we're looking forward to having him on.
Do you have a show this week, by the way, or is this a break week right now? Because I know you were catching up with the Gator Nationals, putting stuff up. So this is sort of a break week for you, ain't it, Mitchell?
It's a break week. We're trying to reach out and start scheduling people for these podcasts for the next couple of weeks, and also try to work around their schedule as well. Mm-hmm. One of the big stories, which we've had this young lady on our show before, Julie Natase, she actually doubled up. She won the Baby Gators the week before, and then turned around and won the Gator Nationals and Top Alcohol Dragster. So she was extremely happy about that, and so was her owner, Randy Meyer. But yeah, just pay attention to our page. We're growing little by little. You can also catch our interview with Courtney Enders as well. It's already up to almost 700 views and growing. She's quite entertaining.
Very much
She works for Flow Racing. So it was really great because Flow Racing mostly, their content was toward super late models and late models. Then more than it was drag racing, and they decided to go into drag racing and start bringing those type of events on there. And they asked her to be their go-to girl to interview these drivers. And so far, it's worked out really great for her and for Flow Racing.
Definitely got the personality. There is no doubt about it. Definitely got the personality. I'll tell you, that interview, I enjoyed that interview. Dave, didn't you?
Thoroughly enjoyed it.
Thoroughly enjoyed it. And like Mitchell said, we're up to 700 views on that thing, and it's just growing by the numbers. And too bad we couldn't have Eric on, but we understand, hey, you got to make your commitments, your sponsor commitments first. But she stepped right in, man, and was so professional about everything, man, and just had a good time with us. And then we had Mr.
Royce Freeman
joined us. And it was really a great interview. You can catch on the Spot Motorsports media page with your host Mitchell Gunner on Thursday nights at 7 o'clock. When he puts it always out there way in advance if he's going to have a show, because he knows who his guests are. Catch all the postings, all the news feeds, anything that's come up, within the day. He usually posts it, especially if it's very important. Check out the page, and it's on the Spot Motorsports media page. It is our sister page. We like to call it I don't really want to call it a sister page anymore. I just want to call it an extension of our page.
Yeah, it's just the motorsports side.
Just the motorsports side. Yeah. And because when we all talked about this started off, Dave, with just a notion. Then we put it into play. Let Mitchell run with this thing. And it went from 0 followers to now almost 3,200 followers. We're real close to that number, right, Mitchell? Getting there?
Let's see where we're at. We're at 3186 right now.
3186. By the end of the week, or by next week, that'll be at 3,200. And that was just a little over a year ago.
Yeah.
Mitchell, how many months now? It's about 13, 14 months?
We are actually around 10.5, I think.
We ain't even been a full year yet,
We haven't been a full year yet.
and already at 3,200 followers. That's how.
Because last year we were still on the spot. We were all together on the spot with David Rodgers
Right.
when we had J.R. Gray
Right.
and Lyle Barnett on.
Oh, I forgot about that. That's
So
exactly
it was
right.
well after the Gator Nationals before we started.
So you're probably 10 or 11 months into this thing?
yeah, about
Somewhere
that.
in there. And it's already at 3,200 viewers, Dave, and followers. And it's because people like racing. People like drag racing. People like cars. And if you want the top news about it, you come join our page.
And when we do an interview, and these drivers, they have their own page.
Exactly.
And they get tuned in to our page to watch the interview they're doing with us.
Yeah.
And just try to throw some numbers out at you. John Force was inducted into the Drag Racing Hall of Fame just ahead of the Gator Nationals. And, we posted that information out there. It has reached over 39,073 people.
Those are numbers you just can't.
We talked about Erica Anders on the on Friday after qualifying. She was the number one qualifier at that time. 22,634 people reaches, and so some things it grabs a lot of people, other things does not. Most of her numbers are 9,000, 8,000 to.
Still, those are numbers. You got to remember, guys. Those are numbers, and ladies and gentlemen, we're not on many platforms. It's Facebook or YouTube,
Right.
mainly.
And it's really neat.
So think about those numbers that are just coming. What if we were on other avenues?
Yeah.
Those numbers would be double and triple.
Well, some of the drivers were talking to me about jumping on Instagram and having an Instagram account adjoined to that. That's what they have been doing, and it's helped them out a lot. But it's really neat. I went down there to Bernie's Speed Shop on Thursday night. Was it Thursday? Wednesday night.
Wednesday
It
night.
was a Wednesday
Yeah,
night.
Wednesday.
Before the Gators, and was able to walk around and film people that were there, because you don't get that kind of opportunity not unless
No.
you go up to Indianapolis for that big race. I know probably sound like a broken record player talking about it, but it's the truth. And being there with other people like Joe Costello and Monday Morning Racer, and they recognize you and talk to you.
I'm glad you
And,
said that, Mitchell. I'm glad you said
that recognition is pretty neat in itself, because they
Absolutely.
really have great podcasts as well, and I follow them. I watch them. Like Lyle Barnett, and I think it's Stevie Fast. They have the Shake and Bake show, and tonight they had Courtney joining their show. So it's intertwined a little bit, and it's neat to have them opportunities.
I'm gonna be honest with you. I think the show that you do, I like your background. You do it from your home. You do it from your man cave right there, where you've got all kinds of displays and things like that. And people know you now. People know what you're doing and who you are, and the numbers are showing it. The numbers are showing it. And when Wes Buck or Costello. Who's the
I've
other
even
one?
talked to Wes Buck.
Yeah, he
Talked to
knows
Wes
who
Buck
you
at
are.
the-
He's watched your
at
show.
the Gators. We've had him on the show,
Yeah.
and he came. First thing he did, he saw me and he walked up to me. He said, "Hey man, how's the page doing?
How's the page doing?"
He wants the page to do well as
Yes.
too, because we're all promoting the same thing. We're promoting the sport, and we want people to get off their couches, go out there, go to the tracks, watch the events. Save our tracks from closing down, because once those tracks are closed down,
That's it.
they're gone for good.
Yeah.
Palm Beach, it's gone for good. It's not coming back.
No.
West Palm Beach, that track is gone, also known as Moroso.
Right.
It's very sad. Atlanta is gone.
It's gone.
Moroso's gone.
Yes, it's
Yes,
gone.
it's gone.
Yes, it is totally gone.
Atlanta's gone, and they were talking about Houston, wasn't it?
Well, Phoenix, one of the tracks is closed, and and Phoenix is closing as well after they have their race out there. And so it has structured. It's hurt, but it's also helped, because now we have Route 66. It's back open. They're going to run national events there. So some of the tracks that have been closed down to that haven't been closed, but they have not been holding national events, are now starting to hold those national events again. So that's a really great thing, and I think that's the reason why there was a big change in schedule for this year, starting with the Gators first instead of out in Pomona.
All right, again, you can catch that show on Thursday nights. Hosting is Mitchell Gunner. That's Thursday night at 7 o'clock when he does do a podcast. Right now, probably taking a week or two hiatus, and he's going to be getting some guests on. But for us, On the Spot with David Rodgers, this is the first time, Mitchell, we've been back in about 3 weeks because of some things we had going on. It was a great show tonight. I want to thank Jerry Feltner for stepping in.
Jerry.
And really coming on. He did a great job, David. Personable guy. You can't help but love him. I've known him 20-plus years. Mitchell's known him for a long time. Yeah. You've known him for a long time. People around here known him for a long time. What a great choice for Chief of Police in Lottie. I feel safe over there. I see him all the time, cut up and joke. It's just I'm glad that we've got somebody good that has taken over that position. If you need to get a hold of us, David's got it right there on the lower third. On the Spot 32091 at gmail.com. That's On the Spot 32091 at gmail.com. Send any questions, anything that you want us to talk about, any breaking news, anything going on, we will pick that up and we will make sure it gets put on the page. If you don't want to put it out there like that, you can message me, text message, 904-966-1633. 904-966-1633 is my number. You can text me. You can Facebook message me, Messenger, or you can hit me up at one of these two email addresses, david.rodgers, that's with a D, R-O-D-G-E-R-S, 1352 at yahoo.com. That's david.rodgers at 1352 at yahoo.com, and david.rodgers 1532 at gmail.com. Yeah, I'll get those confused. David, did you want to put out an email address as well, or would you rather?
I don't want to confuse them. I think
we got enough with those
got
three
it right here. We keep an eye on that.
Okay.
On the Spot 32091 pretty regular. So
yes, we do. Mitchell?
I just also want to thank Miracle Automotive and Towing, being the main sponsor of On the Spot Motorsports Media.
Our main
page.
sponsor as well.
And I'm telling you, if you got a company out there and you want to help push your products, we're always looking for other companies to come on board and be marketing partners with us. And I tell you, you're not going to find anywhere with prices as low as ours to get out on the airways to help promote your business. So, feel free to contact us at On the Spot 32091 at gmail.com, or you can hit me up on Messenger. You can hit David up on Messenger as well, or Dave Holland. And we'll be glad to sit down with you and work out something. Hey, and if you don't have a commercial, hey, we got a guy right here, Dave Holland, that can come out and make one, and that's what we're trying to do. We're trying to reach out and try to get into getting some probably performance-based based businesses to help sponsor the show. That'll give me the ability to have a little bit of money coming in, so I can start traveling and going to some of these racing events across the country.
Yeah.
And as well as us, this is a code thing, Hey, if you want to come on board, you say, hey, I want to be on both shows, David.
And we'll make you
We can make that happen.
Yes.
We can show the commercial on both shows. Again, Mitchell's, we've got a lot of track events that we want to go to and things that we want to do and see. And then, David, we want to go some places, some things that we want to do and see. One of the things that I really want to do this year, and maybe Mitchell can get involved with us as well, is I really want us to do something from the Army-Navy game. I know it's in December. I just want to go up there just for the atmosphere. You know what I mean? Sometimes played in Philadelphia, sometimes it's played in Annapolis. I forget which one is being played at this year. I would love for us to go up there and do a podcast in front of the stadium as everybody's coming in, all those cadets and all the sailors that are coming in. Wouldn't that be great, man?
Yeah, go Navy.
Yeah, go Navy. Beat Army, right? Yeah, go Army, beat Navy. We just want to hear that. That is great, man. The flyovers. I really want to go there. That's a bucket list thing of mine. So, again, on behalf, I hope you enjoyed the show, by the way. Send us some comments right there on that Gmail email address, on the spot 33091 at gmail.com. On behalf of Jerry Feltner again, thank you for filling in, Jerry. The missing Byron Bagwell. Also, Austin Stevens. I want to thank Mitchell Garner for stopping by. I want to thank Zane for stopping in and showing us his Cub Scout uniform. Can't do the show without the guy himself, the director, producer, Dave Holland, who puts all this graphics together, puts all this equipment together. This is an endless job right here. Sometimes he doesn't get the full recognition that he deserves, but he knows that we love him, and he's appreciated.